Hello and welcome to Jill Stamps. In this video, I'd like to teach you the technique called wax paper resist. It's a fun and easy technique that will just add a great accent piece to all of your paper crafting projects. Let's get started. What you'll need is a piece of just regular household wax paper, 2 pieces of Stampin' Up's glossy cardstock, and one of Stampin' Up's textured impression embossing folders for the big shop. Your first step is to take your wax paper, insert it into your embossing folder, and run that through the big shot. Move that out of the way. Then take your wax paper piece out of your embossing folder. And now you have a nice, heavily textured piece of wax paper. Next step, your 2 pieces of glossy cardstock, glossy side facing the wax paper. Sandwich those around your textured wax paper. And now we need to apply some heat. And we'll do that with a standard household iron, and we're going to protect both the iron and yourself and your surface with just 2 pieces of copier or printer paper. So insert that between and apply the heat with your iron. Your iron needs to be on a cotton setting, nice high heat, and no steam. And what you're basically doing, as you can probably guess, is melting that pattern to your pieces of glossy cardstock. The neat thing about this technique is that when you use both pieces of glossy cardstock, you get a positive and negative image, which oftentimes will produce a very different look. You can't see it right now, but you'll see the pattern in just a moment. We're now going to apply ink to that, and you can do that in a couple of different ways. The first way I'll show you is with Stampin' Up's brayer, and you have your rubber attachment in there. And for this one, I'll use Stampin' Up's Regal Rose Classic ink. And you want to use classic ink with your glossy cardstock, not our craft ink, as the craft ink won't dry on the glossy cardstock. And you can see that wax paper pattern resists your inks. Isn't that pretty? Another way to apply color would be just, again, the classic ink and either a stamping sponge or one of Stampin' Up's sponge daubers. And just burnish the color on by swirling your sponges around. The nice thing about this technique is it gives you a little more control as far as using the Stampin' sponge. It gives you a little more control about the amount of color that you apply. With one application, it's much lighter and has a softer look to it, but if you wanted to, you could continue and add a lot more color and a lot more pop. But that gives you options with a Stampin' sponge. So there you have 2 different looks, both very pretty. With the tempting turquoise piece, as you saw, I created the vintage looking card. Of course, the vintage wallpaper textured impressions embossing folder lent itself to a vintage card, so I added the Friends 24/7 Stampin' Up stamp set and created this vintage looking card. The Regal Rose piece looked almost tropical to me, so I thought I'd go with a little more summer themed card and created this fun and bright hello card. Just added a couple punches. I actually punched a piece of the wax paper resist paper and layered that with another flower punch. If you enjoyed this video, check out my blog at jillstamps.com. You can also find me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Thanks for stopping by today.